The crisp morning air at the SEAL training facility was electric with tension. Young, chiseled operators, the best of the best, were cycling through the kill house, a complex maze designed to test their close-quarters combat skills. Their movements were fluid, precise, and deadly. Each pop of their rifles echoed with confidence and expertise. It was a typical Tuesday, a day of pushing limits and honing the lethal craft that made them Navy SEALs. But today was different. Today, they had a visitor. Leaning against a railing, observing from a safe distance, was an old man. He looked to be in his late 70s, maybe early 80s. His hair was a shock of white, his face a roadmap of wrinkles, and his frame was slightly stooped. He wore a simple plaid shirt and well-worn jeans, a stark contrast to the state-of-the-art gear of the operators. He just stood there, quiet and unassuming, a gentle smile playing on his lips as he watched the young warriors go through their paces. To D SEALs, he was just some VIP guest, maybe a retired politician or a wealthy donor getting a tour. They gave him a polite nod and went back to their drills. One young hotshot, let's call him Miller, fresh off a record-setting run, swaggered past the old man. "Pretty intense stuff, huh, Pops?" he said with a cocky grin. The old man just chuckled softly. "You boys are mighty quick," he replied, his voice raspy with age. "Reminds me of the old days." Miller just smirked and jogged off, not giving the comment a second thought. The old days. What could this frail old man possibly know about this kind of work? This was the modern battlefield, a world of advanced optics, custom-built rifles, and cutting-edge tactics. The old days were ancient history. Later, during a break, the base commander, a seasoned SEAL captain, walked over to the old man. The two men embraced like old friends. The younger SEALs watched with curiosity. "Who was this guy?" The commander then turned to his men. "All right, listen up. This is Mr. Thompson. He's an old friend and a guest instructor for the day." A few of the operators exchanged confused glances. A guest instructor. This old guy. Was this some kind of joke? The commander seemed to read their minds. "Mr. Thompson here wants to see if he's still got it. He's going to run the course." A wave of disbelief, mixed with a little amusement, rippled through the group. They tried to hide their smiles. This had to be a prank. The kill house was physically demanding and mentally grueling. Navigating it required speed, strength, and lightning-fast reflexes. It was a young man's game. They were worried the old man might trip and break a hip. One of the instructors respectfully approached. "Sir, with all due respect, this course is aggressive. Maybe we can set up some stationary targets for Mr. Thompson." The commander just smiled. "Give him a rifle and a full magazine, and time him." Hesitantly, an operator handed Mr. Thompson a standard-issue M4 rifle. The old man took it, his hands surprisingly steady. He didn't handle it like a fragile antique. He held it like it was an extension of his own body. He checked the magazine, worked the charging handle, and clicked the safety off and on. The familiar, mechanical sounds seemed to awaken something in him. His stooped shoulders straightened just a little. His eyes, once clouded with age, now held a sharp, focused glint. He walked to the starting point of the kill house. The timer operator looked at the commander, who gave a firm nod. "Shooter is ready." "Stand by!" the operator called out, his voice laced with doubt. The old man took a deep breath, his body relaxing into a coiled spring of potential energy. The buzzer shrieked, and then he moved. It wasn't the frantic sprint of the younger SEALs. It was a different kind of speed and economy of motion that was almost hypnotic. Every step had a purpose. He didn't run. He flowed through the entryway, a ghost in plaid. The first two targets popped up. Pop, pop. Two perfect shots to the head. Faster than most of the younger guys could even register the threat. He didn't waste an ounce of energy. As he moved deeper into the maze, the SEALs watched on the monitors, their jaws slowly dropping. Their amusement had vanished, replaced by sheer astonishment. He moved from room to room with a preternatural awareness. He didn't just clear corners. Aeonid team. He anticipated where the targets would appear, almost as if he was one step ahead of the course itself. Double taps echoed through the complex. Pop pop. A target in a doorway. Pop pop. Another behind a barrel. His reloads were a blur. There was no fumbling. Noisy shin. Eject the empty mag. Slam a fresh one home. And the rifle was singing again in a fraction of a second. The cocky young SEAL, Miller, stood frozen. His mouth agape. This wasn't just good. This was perfect. The old man wasn't just shooting targets. He was solving a complex, three-dimensional problem at unbelievable speed. His movements were a masterclass in efficiency. He didn't dive or roll like the younger operators. He didn't need to. His positioning was so flawless that he was always stable, always ready. He reached the final room, where 3 targets popped up simultaneously, the hostage-taker scenario. The hardest part of the course. Most SEALs took a split second to acquire the targets and fire. Mr. Thompson's rifle barked 3 times, pop, 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 in a rhythm so fast it sounded like one continuous burst. All 3 targets dropped, each with a perfect shot to the kill zone. He stepped out of the exit, the rifle held low and ready. He calmly clicked the safety on and lowered the weapon. He was breathing a little heavily, but a serene smile was back on his face. The kill house was silent. The timer operator stared at his stopwatch, his eyes wide. He looked up at the commander, then back at the watch, as if he couldn't believe what it said. The commander walked over to the timer, glanced at the number, and a huge grin spread across his face. He turned to his stunned team. "Gentlemen," he announced, his voice booming with pride, "the new course record is 22.4 seconds, beaten by 3 full seconds." Absolute silence. Then, one by one, the hardened Navy SEALs began to clap. The applause grew from a few hesitant claps into a thunderous ovation. They weren't just clapping for a broken record. They were clapping out of pure, unadulterated respect. Miller the hotshot was the first to approach the old man, his earlier cockiness completely gone. "Sir, I have no words. That was incredible. Who are you?" The old man, Mr. Thompson, handed the rifle back. He looked at the young SEALs, his eyes twinkling. The base commander put a hand on his shoulder. "Gentlemen, let me properly introduce you. This is Chief Petty Officer Richard the Ghost Thompson. He was one of the original members of SEAL Team 6. He helped design this very kill house back in the 80s. The revelation hit them like a physical blow. They were standing in the presence of a living legend. The Ghost. A name whispered in reverence. A phantom figure from the golden age of special operations, known for his uncanny ability to appear, eliminate his targets, and disappear without a trace. They thought he was just a myth, a story told to inspire recruits. But he was real, and he had just shown them all that true skill, forged in the crucibles of real-world conflict, never truly fades. It just gets quieter, waiting for the right moment to remind everyone what a true master looks like. That day, the young SEALs learned a valuable lesson. They learned that the deadliest weapon isn't the rifle or the gear, but the mind and spirit behind it. And they learned that you should never, ever underestimate the quiet old man in the plaid shirt, because he might just be a legend. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. We'll see you in the next one.